Gentlemen, 2017 Elimination Chamber. I'm sorry this is going to be late. It's going to be uploaded by 12:30. Maybe near 1. I had to look at Talking Smack, and you know the reason why, because my girl was on it. I'm not going to say anything until the end of the review. You know what this is about. So let's get through everything else. I'm going to open with the first thing that made my ass laugh. And that was on the kickoff show, and what happened with Booker T watching JBL fall his ass down the ramp because he wanted to strut his ass off. It's the reason why I watch reality wrestling. There is a little bit of Booker T in that promotion. He created it. You can see a little bit of sucky ducky quack quack, whatever you want to call it. It was funny the way he just broke down and laughed. Look, JBL and him have been friends for years. And it was nice seeing those two have that kind of banter between each other. It was funny. And that's all I'm going to say. Now, let's open with the show. And I want to say this. All but one match was very sucky. It was crap. Then you have one match that it was good, but you don't really care that much about it. But it was still well done. And all the other matches throughout the rest of the card were actually very good matches, with decent storylines and very good action. I wanted to say that earlier so you understand the situation. Now I'm going to open up with the Elimination Chamber. I know a lot of people will end with it. I'm opening with it, baby. I'm opening with the Elimination Chamber. You know why? Because I'm in shock. John Cena jobs. Now, of course, he can get the title back and still go to WrestleMania against Randy Orton. That still could happen. But seeing that Bray Wyatt won his first real title was wonderful. Finally, the man who really we noticed is a unique individual who had a great gimmick, but the WWE truly did not know how to push the man or even understood what they were pushing. He finally got a title. Finally. And I got to say this about Baron Corbin, and I got to say this for Morgan, because me and him, we do have something in common. Me and Baron, well, I'm getting Baron and Morgan mixed up because I'm angry due to the fact that Morgan, you saw it just like me. He loses the match because he's staring at the freaking Miz not coming out of the damn chamber. They couldn't get him the job in another way that would make him want to face Dean Ambrose, who, if I still remember, is IC champ. What? Why does he have to job like he's an idiot? The person you should be angry at shouldn't have been Dean Ambrose for pinning him. It should have been The Miz, who just stood there watching him. But The Miz doesn't have the title, and Dean Ambrose does. Still makes sense for him to go after him. And hopefully, we might actually get ourselves a new IC champ. I'll be alright if he jobs that way, if the title is going to be up for grabs. I'm just saying that. The match itself was very, very good. John Cena did a good job. And I gotta say this about Bray and John Cena. Bray Wyatt and John Cena are equal in one thing and one thing only. When they work with AJ Styles, they have amazing chemistry together. John Cena and AJ Styles have great chemistry, but Bray Wyatt and AJ Styles have great chemistry. That shows how great AJ Styles is. And it kind of hurts me to see that AJ will not be at WrestleMania unless he's going for the IC title, which would be a downgrade for him. He shouldn't. It would be understandable that he had to go to it because they have nothing else for him at that time. It does feel like a downgrade. He deserves better than actually go to the IC title from the World Heavyweight title. But as long as he's in WrestleMania, even if it is for the IC title, as long as it's not a freaking ladder match, I would be alright with it. Now, let's move on to the match I really thought was the garbage of the entire show. Kalisto and Apollo Crews versus Dolph Ziggler. I know a lot of people would say, well, why? Why? It wasn't a bad thing. Dolph looked great. Look, let's be honest. Dolph Ziggler should not be working with Kalisto and Apollo Crews. He should be working with someone that can give him relevance. And it's not Apollo Crews, and it's not Kalisto. It's actually JBL, the one who I just spoke about falling his ass down the ramp. It should be JBL working with a King Jerry Lawler. it should be JBL wrestling for Jerry Lawler because he can't get back in the ring due to the fact of his heart condition. It should be JBL getting in the freaking ring against Dolph Ziggler, making this special, making this mean something, making this relevant. If he had won that match and then went in front of JBL and spat in his face, that would be something substantial, but this means nothing. That's why it's crap. Beating up on Kalisto before the match didn't really matter, even though it wasn't that bad. He broke the lighting. Then he smashes the Apollo Crew's ankle. What does that mean? Nothing. The person he needs to deal with that's going to give him true relevance is Jerry the King. Calm down. Stop botching. Jerry the King Lawler is the true opponent for Dolph Ziggler. But since he can't wrestle, the person that he must wrestle is JBL, his close friend. If the King was working with Apollo Crews or Kalisto, then you could say one of them should be his opponent. But as it stands, they mean nothing. Now let's move on to the match that was good but really didn't mean anything. And that was the the tag team turmoil match with everybody that's on the roster that's in the tag team. It would have been better that the Ascension won. I'm going to say it right now. Because what are we actually getting from the Alphas? We get no real storyline from them. We don't get any backstage segments from them. In other words, showing them doing something. Showing them having something entertaining or being entertaining. As much as people love wrestling, the problem that the tag titles and the tag teams have is that you're not really showing them on the show. Yeah, you can show them on Superstars or Main Event. Yeah, you can show them on YouTube, but they need to be introduced and progressed on the show. So when the pay-per-view comes, then they're relevant. The only ones that had something interesting was the Ascension. And it would have been better if the Ascension had just won. Now here's the problem with the Usos. We know the Usos are very good. We know the Usos as a heel team is really good, but they have fucked them over. I'm so sorry for the curse. I'm sorry. I've been cursing lately in my show. And if you're angry about me cursing, I apologize. But let's be honest. The Usos, when they were made into heels, should have never had to go up against the odd couple of Rhino and Heath Slater. They should never did it when they first turned heel. They should have left it alone, build up into it, and then faced them. The Alphas, the same thing. They should have actually lost the titles, I'm talking about the Usos, and then have to face the Alphas to get it back. In this case, the Usos are a mess. They're a joke. The only one that had some interest was the Ascension. And that's stretching it. The tag titles mean nothing. The tag teams mean nothing. Without anything, without anything for them to do in the back. In other words, they do video segments in the back with them that doesn't have to do freaking interviews. They mean nothing. Now moving on to a very good match. Natalya versus Nikki. Now the story has been touch and go. It hasn't always been very good. But let's be honest. Nikki and Natalya, when they get in the ring, they're pretty damn good with their chemistry. And in this case, this chemistry spilled out into the, almost into the arena. And there was a count out. No person won. And I'm so happy. I'm beyond happy that this doesn't end. You know what it reminds me of? John Cena versus Randy Orton around 2008 to 2009. This is the animosity I'm getting from them. I'm botching because it actually is pretty damn good. I just wish they would introduce Tyson Kidd into the mix. Like I said, Tyson Kidd would actually make this more relevant because Nikki, why should she care just because she's been talking her mess? Why would Natalya care more about wanting to bury Nikki just because of family? She should actually be caring about her husband, saying, you got to get out of the damn way because I need more money for my husband for his neck. That would make this more darker. But we're not getting that from Natalya, and we're not getting that from Nikki. Nikki's not saying that Tyson Kidd, he's, why you even care? Shouldn't you care more about your husband than about your family or your ring work? Shouldn't you be working harder to make money for him because he has a broken neck? That would make sense. her worrying about John Cena leaving her compared to her worrying about Tyson Kidd not getting healthy and possibly becoming well, you could say that he could become crippled even though he's not. That would go well with storyline. Now, what is it next? Becky Lynch versus Mickie Jane. Great match. Great chain wrestling match. One problem. Mickie Jane jobs. Mickie Jane jobs after coming back. Her first legitimate singles match, and she jobs to Becky Lynch. Are you freaking serious? I should say this is a crappy match, but because of the wrestling and because of the story, it's not that bad. But Mickie Jane, and I'm not being biased because I love me and Mickie Jane. Next to Naomi, Mickie is the one I love. I love that woman. She's a gorgeous, half white, half Native American Powhatan. That's the tribe I believe it's her father was Native American. Powhatan woman. She's gorgeous. She's intelligent. She knows how to talk well. But it made no freaking sense for her to job. She should have cheated to win. It made no sense why they let her win here. Even though the match was good and the story actually is good, her losing was dumb. It just was. Alright, the Skybox segment with Ellsworth and Carmella. What did we exactly get? It didn't really feel like it was important. It didn't feel like it meant anything. I mean, what exactly did we get with Carmella with James Ellsworth? We got a couple being together. And to be honest, it was bland. It would have been better if Carmella went down to the ring to mess with one of these women. And you know, I wouldn't have been happy about the title match. But it would have made sense because she's not doing anything. Sitting eating popcorn with James Ellsworth. Are they going to have a wedding ceremony next? Who knows? Luke Harper versus Randy Orton. Oh my goodness. I was shocked about this match. It wasn't the fact that it was Randy Orton winning. No, I was shocked. It was a very competitive match. They were literally trying to knock each other's heads off. It was that damn good. I was shocked. I wasn't sure about how the situation was going to go. Because what was going to happen because of what was going on with Bray. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. Could Bray come out? That's what I was thinking. Could Bray come out and mess with either one of them to try and make a little twist or nothing? He didn't come out, but still. It was a great match. And Randy Orton won it. And it gave him great momentum, particularly at the end of the show when Bray won that title, which I am still happy as hell to see. And I don't know if they're actually going to go there with Bray and Randy Orton. John Cena could still win the title back from Bray. And this could just be for John to break. Because he's tied with Ric Flair. This could break easily the record of Ric Flair. And he will be the only person in history to hold more than Ric Flair has. That could be one of the reasons why they did it. Or they may actually be going with Bray and Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Who knows? But still, it was good. Let me see. Am I forgetting anything? Because I don't want to forget anything. I do not want to forget anything. As far as I can tell, no. Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, before doing this video, it's the reason why it's coming out late. It's because I watch Talking Smack. I normally don't watch it. Especially after Smackdown because I do these shows right afterward. But in this case, I had to watch what happened to Naomi. I did see what happened with Mickie Jane and Alexa Bliss. And they tried their points. And of course, it worked. They both sounded good even though it was stupid for Mickie Jane's to job. But Alexa sounded good. She's still going with the narrative that Naomi is nothing. I didn't get enough sleep. I wasn't hydrated. It doesn't really matter. Fine. Fine. Still, it was good to see Naomi. And I have a picture of her right there in my side of my face. Right there. I heard what she said. She thanked us. Our baby did it, ladies and gentlemen. If no one thinks I wasn't cheering my ass off when she won, I did. But I'm going to be honest. When I saw that Becky Lynch won, I said, man, stupid. Then I saw Apollo Crews and Kalisto win. And I said, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Then I saw that it was basically a count out for the women, Nikki Bella and Natalya. I'm thinking, Naomi's not gonna win. Once I saw American Alphas win, I said, no. There's no way Nikki, you know what I mean. I'm getting botchy here because I was so excited. I felt once Naomi and Alexa Bliss match came up that Naomi wasn't winning. Even though I was still grinning just knowing that she was going for that title. A part of me just said she's not going to win. But I kept grinning just knowing she was there in the title picture. Actually, the people cheering for Naomi. That crowd, when she came down, they were cheering for her. Throughout the match, even though there was lulls in it, let's not lie, there were lulls in between the matches, particularly when Naomi did get hit a couple of times. But then it began to build and build and build. And then the crowd really got behind Naomi. And by the time she won, the crowd exploded in joy when she won. And when Renee Young came into the ring and said, how does it feel to be the women's Smackdown champion? Everyone started chanting, you deserve it. You deserve it. Ow. Why did I do that when I got a cut in my hand? From when I fell, ladies and gentlemen. Ah, fuck. Anyway, I screamed in joy. I jumped out of my bed, which is dangerous for a person like me to literally try to jump out of my bed because I could fall. I've already fallen once in the street because it was dark and the street was uneven. But I didn't care because I felt the glow. I can't believe I just said that. Maybe I'll cover my face when I say that so I don't feel so embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed to be a Naomi fan, ladies and gentlemen. You guys know me. Since I've done this show, since 2012, did it around July of 2012. It's been almost 5 years for me. The one person I've always talked about was Naomi Knight. I always believed Naomi was special. I said she always wears her heart on her sleeve. I've never stopped saying that because it's the truth. I knew the minute that she went to the back, she looked for Jonathan, her husband, and she cried in his arms because she won her freaking title. She said, I'm talking smack. After I won that title, I started crying for 20 minutes. I didn't stop. I know Naomi well enough, Trinity, that she shows her emotion. She was happy. She worked 8 freaking years to become a champion. And I've said this to people who love Naomi and felt, do you really believe Naomi's that good? Or people will say like Brittany Johnson or Nicole Bell or I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry. I'm getting your name mixed up. I'm still excited. Nicole Bell and several other people. You know me. I have always said Naomi was special and she deserved better. I believed one day that she would become champion. If she never did, she would leave this company. But I still believe that one day she would become champ. And I've said it. And now she is it. Feel the glow, bitches. I'm saying that for the people who are not Naomi fans. Who probably are angry as hell that Alexa Bliss won. Screw you if you love Alexa Bliss. And I'm not saying this to my subscribers who love Alexa Bliss. And they're not happy that Naomi won. They'd rather see Alexa Bliss. Because admittedly, Alexa Bliss is one hell of a good heel right now. But for people who say, fuck Naomi, I say, screw you. Suck it. For the simple reason, this woman has been through the most ridiculous situation with the WWE. They wouldn't push her. They put her in the most stupidest story, like when it came to the Funkadactyls. They didn't let her get anywhere. And then once she got hurt and came back, they just dropped her like a hot potato, even when she was healthy. This woman should have been champion more than 2.5 years ago. Between 2013 to 14. Into 15. She should have already been champ. I know that's more than two years. It's 3. But I'm going about 2.5 years because if you're going to be honest about Naomi, her ring work was not that great. As much as I love her, I'm not going to lie. She needed to work on her ring work and she needed to work on the talking. And she has. She earned this. As much as people don't want to hear it, Naomi Knight deserves this. The only thing I worry about is Alexa Bliss. When she comes back for her title, she'll take it away from before WrestleMania. That would be the most stupidest thing. It reminds me of what happened with Mr. Bob Backlund versus Diesel. Mr. Bob Backlund only had it for a week and he dropped it to Diesel for no apparent reason. Look what happened with Christian and Randy Orton. He had it for barely 2 days. It was weak storyline wise, but 2 days legitimately, and he dropped it. I want to see Naomi keep that title and go into WrestleMania. I want to see her dance her ass off all the way down to WrestleMania. Even if she does lose the title, which I don't want her to, she will have her dream to go to the crowd in her hometown and perform. That's my wish for her. If anyone, I don't have a Twitter, but if anyone links my video to her, which I know no one's going to really care about linking a video to me, of me to a Naomi Knight. For Trinity for 2, I would say, Miss for 2 Trinity, congratulations. You deserve what you got. I've always believed that you had a great gift in you. Honestly, you deserve better than what you had. And I'm glad you got it. And I hope you and your husband had a good hug after you won the title because you deserve it. Now, this has gone on longer than it's supposed to. Have a good day, have a good night, and look for my reality of wrestling. I will be getting it done.